last domino to fall, but just the first one in what could be a series. Embry was a part of this Chiefs team for 7 years, the last 3 of which as the team's wide receivers coach. Over the course of those 3 seasons, they have not had a single 1,000-yard receiver, not a one. They also have had problems with drops. I saw a report on Twitter, and I didn't hear Nate say this verbatim, so I'm not going to – I want to preface by saying that there was a great deal of a lack of faith in Connor Embry, and maybe there were reports out that this Chiefs team maybe was relying more on development courtesy of Travis Kelce and DeAndre Hopkins when he was here, more so than of their own wide receivers coach. And this is not a surprise, I think, to anybody. That's long been a complaint from Chiefs fans, that the running backs coach is a former wide receiver and the wide receivers coach is a former running back, and those two things don't necessarily make a ton of sense. Sometimes they work out, but it's hard when you look at he played a different position and now he's coaching a different position, and there's no real on-field success because of it, especially when you add in the fact that they drafted some pretty high-profile guys, including Rashee Rice out of the second round 2 years ago from SMU, as well as, Xavier Worthy last season. So you've spent capital on the wide receiver position, and it still hasn't worked. Kind of leads you to look at the position group and the position coach as to a huge reason why it's not clicking, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I don't know, the drops, I mean, look, the players have to take some accountability there. That said, there hasn't been much development in that wide receiver room of those young wide receivers, specifically speaking, to Xavier Worthy, who quite honestly took a step back this year. I mean, 500 yards, he needed to contribute more this year. And it's a double-edged sword when it comes to Andy. He's known for, it's his guys. He sticks by his guys. He likes promoting, internally. And sometimes it doesn't work out. I think a lot of us, when he was first named wide receiver coach, had no idea who he was and kind of questioned it. And I think, there was several rumblings last year of like, hey, does this guy really fit what we need at this moment in time? Turns out, we were right. They were right. He didn't. You shouldn't rely on you're in the NFL. You shouldn't be relying on other veteran receivers as the primary reason for developing your talent. It's a shame, honestly, that it did. It seems like a waste of a season, and kind of further dug themselves a hole that they probably could have been a little less deep had they had someone with a little bit more developmental ability for that wide receiver room.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see who they go to for something like this. I have to imagine you just hired somebody who prior to his arrival had little to no experience as a wide receivers coach. Have to imagine that you hired him thinking that he had that sort of potential within him, right? He's been with this team for 7 years, 2 years as a defensive assistant. He spent a couple of years, I think, as well as a quality control coach, offensively, I should add. And so you gave the guy a promotion thinking he's done well in these 2 previous roles. This is another chance for him to prove himself. It just didn't come to fruition, right? Maybe it was the wrong position group for him. I have to lean towards you need to hire somebody who has experience coaching the wide receiver position. Who that is, I couldn't tell you.
You don't have to have played the position to be a position coach.
Agreed.
But you have to have
maybe some experience coaching a position.
In that position, correct.
Yeah. I think back to, and again, this isn't always going to work, but, as an Iowa fan, the first person I think of is Abdul Hodge, who was an All-American linebacker at Iowa. He played in the NFL for several years. He played for the Green Bay Packers and then went back and started coaching in college. He was the tight ends coach at South Dakota and was then hired as the tight ends coach for the University of Iowa, where he has been now for several years, and he's helped churn out some really good. Sam Laporta is a primary example of guys that he's coached at the University of Iowa at the tight end position, somebody who never played the tight end position. So again, it doesn't have to be somebody who played that position, but maybe somebody who has experience, whether it be at the collegiate level or even a little bit at the NFL level, coaching that position group moving forward. That feels like where this organization needs to be. And you think about, that being a problem at wide receiver, could also argue that's probably a problem at the running back position as well right now with this Chiefs team. I think there's a reasonable expectation that they may move on from the running backs coach as well. Who they move on from beyond that is going to be a fascinating subject. There's not another name that comes to mind outside of Dave Toub. And I cannot wrap my brain around Andy moving on from Dave Toub.
Yeah.
If you're moving on from a wide receivers coach, a running backs coach, and presumably an offensive coordinator as well, whether that be of Andy Reid's decision or Matt Nagy's decision or another NFL team hiring Matt Nagy's decision, I don't believe Matt Nagy's back as this team's offensive coordinator next year. So you're already revamping a huge chunk of your offensive coaching staff. Who knows? If you hire an offensive coordinator, they may want to make more changes within the position groups, right? They may decide to move on from the running backs coach, even if Andy doesn't. They may decide to move on from offensive line coach Andy Heck, which I'm far less a proponent of this year compared to last year, because I like what they've done in the development of Kingsley Sewell-Mata'ia as a guard, how Josh Simmons performed in his rookie year at left tackle, not to mention the development of Creed and Trey Smith. I feel like Andy Heck has earned the benefit of the doubt over the last season here in Kansas City. It's hard to put injuries as a reason for why you let go of a guy like Andy Heck, in my view. But it's going to be interesting. I'm 100% in agreement with Rapp's report that this is the first change and that there may be other changes that come after this. I would lean towards this not being the last domino to fall.
Yeah, I certainly hope so, but I'm in agreement. I don't, especially when it comes to Toub. That's his guy, right? He's the assistant coach for a reason.
Yeah.
And like you said, Andy's not known for shaking up his coaching staff very often. And the fact that we're most likely going to be looking for a new OC, like you said, a wide receivers coach and someone else, he's going to want still some continuity on the offensive side of the ball with the coaching staff. So, I wouldn't expect Toub to go anywhere.
913-586-7965 is our number. If you want to text in, we'll chat with you about some of these coaching moves, but we've got more coming up, a handful of things coming out regarding the Kansas City Royals that we'll discuss here on After Hours. Logan Weber alongside Julio Sanchez, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11120.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more, and we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements: more energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and on behalf of everyone here, I want to thank you for listening to another season of Chiefs football right here on 96.5 The Fan. Although the season didn't go as planned, we saw record listenership these last 6 months, and that's all thanks to our listeners and Chiefs Kingdom. Our coverage will not change these next couple of months as we get you ready for a busy offseason, starting with the Combine, free agency, and the NFL Draft. Stay up to date with us on YouTube, Instagram, the Odyssey app, or right there in your car. This is your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
After Hours, 96.5 The Fan. Logan Weber alongside Julio Sanchez. Our text line, 913-586-7965. Somebody in the text line mentioned that 3 different assistant coaches are no longer with the team. I knew about them parting ways with Embry. I also knew about, is it Alex Whittingham? I believe is his name, Alex Whittingham. He was a assistant defensive line coach, I think. He has taken a job as the linebackers coach at Michigan. That would make sense considering his dad is new head coach, Kyle Whittingham. So he's going to be joining his father in Ann Arbor. The third, and this is one that I hadn't heard about, Lou Adazio, I believe is how you pronounce that name. He is a defensive quality control coach. He is joining the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV. Not sure what his role will be. Beyond that, I haven't heard of anybody else. This person mentioned Embry, mentioned Adazio, and said that they had already fired running backs coach Todd Pinkston. I have not heard anything about Pinkston yet. And I've looked at it. I haven't found anything. I haven't heard from it. And that's not to say that it's not going to happen. I'm just saying that I haven't heard anything about him being let go yet. Just from my
I'm in
perspective.
agreement with you on that one. Yeah.
I mean, let me, because Twitter is such a reputable source for information. I'm still not, even on social media, I'm not seeing them moving on from Todd Pinkston. Not to say that they won't. I just have not seen or heard anything about that as of yet. Let's change gears here a little bit. Let's talk about the Kansas City Royals, because there are some news stories circulating about the Royals, a handful of them that I want to talk about here. The first, and this is something that we talked about on Tuesday, because the Speaker of the Kansas House said that they themselves are not looking to continue negotiations with the Kansas City Royals about a move to Kansas. The Speaker said that the Royals sort of passively nudged them on the idea of maybe kicking the can on that December 31st deadline. The Speaker and the Kansas House said, no, we're ready to move on in this situation. That's not to say that it's completely out of the question in Kansas, but it seems like it's pretty much done in Clay County. The Clay County commissioner today said that he still loves baseball, but he is, quote, done negotiating with the Royals on a new stadium for the team on the county. The deadline for a 2026 ballot measure in April of this year was today, and it went by. Said that the Royals told the county that they were not ready to meet that deadline. He said that the joy has been drained out of him over the last few years, and he expressed his dislike towards the business of baseball, calling the negotiations, quote, a closed chapter. So, doesn't sound like Kansas is a super high possibility. Sounds like there is almost no possibility for Clay County. Just continue. Every day, it seems like a downtown ballpark is becoming more and more likely for the Kansas City Royals.
Alex, Cody and Gold earlier today kind of spoke on that and pointed out the fact that he is one of, I believe, 6 members of that committee that makes those decisions. So he's speaking solely for himself. That said, man, I'm still just so confused on what the Royals actually want. I think all of us to this point are just over it. I mean, I can't blame them. I mean, not to mention, it just seems like they have no more leverage on anything. Kansas doesn't really want them. Now Clay County doesn't really want them. Where's your leverage now? I mean, you can't really go anywhere else now. So, what are you going to do? I'm over it too, man. I'm over it too. It's old news.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he is one of 6 or 7, whatever it is. God, didn't do that on purpose. Everybody move on.
I did. Oh God. Move on.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. He is the Western Commissioner at large of this committee, the Clay County Commission, I guess you could say. Scott Wagner's the Western Commissioner. So you're right. He's one of a handful of voices in this matter. But again, I feel like he's not going to take to social media and speak that openly and plainly if he was the only one who had that opinion. That's
fair.
Just this person's thoughts on the matter. Taking a look at some other Royals news and tidbits. The Royals have come to agreements with 6 players inside the organization to avoid arbitration. That includes Michael Massey, who they have signed for $1.57 million for next year. Kyle Isbell at $2.7 million. Bailey Falter got $3.6 million. Bailey Falter, who, for those who are unaware, pitched in 4 games for the Royals last year. After being acquired from the Pittsburgh Pirates, he finished the year between Pittsburgh and Kansas City with a 7-7 record, a 4.45 ERA across 26 games pitched, 24 starts. He only started 2 games for the Royals, pitched in 4, 12 innings, and had an ERA of 11.25. And the Royals are going to give him $3.6 million.
Apparently see something in him.
I guess so. Daniel Lynch got $1.025 million. Okay. John Schreiber, $3.715 million. And reliever Nick Mears got $1.9 million. So avoiding arbitration with those guys, along with the $8 million that they had already given to Jonathan India, and $810 that they gave to James MacArthur, the huge extension for Michael Garcia. However, there were a couple of notable omissions in terms of the Royals' free arbitration hearings, or lack thereof, for these guys. Vinny Pasquantino and Chris Bubich. Neither one of those guys reached an agreement with the Royals, making it increasingly more likely that an arbitration hearing may happen for one or both of those individuals coming up later on this offseason. Vinny said earlier this week, I think via MLB Network, that there had been some like preliminary conversations about an extension, but nothing serious has been made of it just yet. So it feels increasingly more likely that we might get Vinny and Bubic through extensions through arbitration for next year, kind of kicking the can down the road a year for a possible extension for Vinny and potentially Bubic, but I still feel that it's far more likely that they find a trade partner for him.
Yeah, I will say, while the Royals may not know what the hell they're doing off the baseball field, on the baseball field, I like their moves this year. I mean, I trust them when it comes to the baseball move side of things. But by the way, Ole Miss just broke off I think it was like a 74-ish yardish run touchdown. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Up 7-3.
Boy, that would boggle the mind, wouldn't it?
Yep.
I mean, regardless of who wins this game, it boggles the mind that Miami or Ole Miss might end up in the college football playoff national championship game.
I love it.
When so many people picked both of these teams to lose in the first round of the CFP.
I'm not a big college football fan, and I'm purposely going to watch these semifinal games and the championship game because it doesn't include Ohio State or any of those other traditional programs that have just dominated college football. So I'm all for it, man. I love what's happening in college football right now.
Think about that from Ole Miss's perspective. We'll talk more about that later, but
such a good story.
Your coach leaves.
Such a good story.
Your head coach leaves, tries to take like your entire coaching staff with him. There's this whole thing about he wants to continue to coach throughout the college football playoff. They say, no, get out. We're going to hire the defensive coordinator to become the immediate heir apparent as the head coach. And he leads them all the way to the national championship game.
I hope so.
That would be that
would be epic.
Wild story across college football. That would be so much fun to see. 913-586-7965 is our number. I've got one more Royals-related story, and this is one that may have a bit of an impact on those of us who are going to want to watch the Royals this upcoming year and in future years. That's next. 913-586-7965 is our number. Logan Weber, Julio Sanchez. This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew dressing up for a Halloween ball would change my life forever? Now I get to celebrate with the best fans and everything Kansas City. Oh, yeah! My journey also led me to Renner Garage Door, Casey's go-to team for garage door repair, replacement, and service since 1956. Renner features an MVP lineup from Delden, Amar, and Liftmaster.
R-E-N-N-E-R, R-E-N-N-E-R.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Buys KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30-plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Well, if you're a fan of the FanDuel Sports Network to watch the Kansas City Royals, well, it was a short-lived fandom. 9 Major League Baseball teams, including the Royals, have terminated their contract with FanDuel Sports Network and, of course, its parent company, which is Main Street Sports Group. That apparently the news is, the reports are that the broadcaster missed its media rights payment to the Cardinals as well as a couple of other Major League Baseball teams back in December. This is a story that shouldn't be a story because everybody should have seen this coming to begin with. Okay, when you made this agreement with Main Street Sports Group, they were in the middle of bankruptcy. They were in the middle of a bankruptcy filing that they crawled out of an early part of last year. And now a year later, everybody's shocked that there's financial disarray within Main Street Sports Group. Folks, these people they just filed for bankruptcy. The team's move come as a safeguard from Main Street filing for bankruptcy once again. My God. First of all, it's worth noting that the termination doesn't mean that they can't renegotiate, saying that active dialogue remains. That came from a spokesperson for Main Street Sports Group. Said that, quote, active dialogue remains.
Why?
What?
Why? This is twice now.
Please don't.
Oh, my gosh.
Please don't. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred told the AP on Thursday, that'd be today, obviously, that the league is prepared to take over broadcasts if needed. The 8 other teams included the Braves, the Reds, the Tigers, Angels, Marlins, Brewers, the Cardinals, who I've just mentioned, as well as the Tampa Bay Rays.
Why don't they just take it over? They should have just taken it over last time.
MLB,
what are we doing
the Major
here?
League Baseball? Yeah, I'm with you.
What are we doing here? This is silliness. This is pure baseball. Like, for all the progress that they've made over the last few years, this is just a step back for them.
The people yearn for the days of Fox Sports Midwest.
Right.
Yearn for it, I tell you. Because this is a complete and utter debacle at the highest level. 913-586-7965 is our number. I got an 816 here. Says something that, I'm curious if you agree or disagree with, Julio. I wish we would have waited to extend Q after this season, depending on if we make the playoffs or not. Thoughts? Why? I mean, folks, let's not put the cart before the horse here, okay? This is a Royals team that prior to the hiring of Matt Quatraro was one of the 3 worst teams in baseball since 2017. Okay, they went to back-to-back World Series under Ned Yost, and then 2016 hit, and they couldn't pay anybody anymore. The team fell apart, and they were horrendous. Now you've got a general manager in J.J. Piccolo, an ownership group in John Sherman, and a manager in Matt Quatraro who are performing admirably. You won 86 games 2 seasons ago. You made the playoffs. You got to the ALDS, and you lost to a Yankees team that, as much as you might not like to admit it, was better than the Royals. Okay? Last year, you faltered a little bit, right? You regressed by, 4 games, and you went 82-80. You had back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since you went to back-to-back World Series. Let's not sit here and act like this team is the Dodgers or the Padres or the Red Sox or one of these monumentally earning and spending teams in baseball. Okay? The way that team played last year, honestly, looking back at it, sort of thrilled they won 82 games. With all the injuries that they had to their starting pitching rotation, and to watch that rotation still pitch well, to watch the bullpen outside of Ursig and Estevez and Lynch, even Schreiber to a certain extent when he was back, when he was healthy, but it wasn't very often that he was healthy. When you look at how injury-riddled that pitching lineup was, starters and the bullpen, when you look at the lack of run production from the lineup and you still won 82 games, Matt Quatraro absolutely deserved an extension. And what would waiting a year have done? So you're suggesting that if the Royals hadn't signed him to an extension this year and they missed the playoffs again in 2026, he should be fired? Because if that's the sentiment, I strongly disagree with it.
You would have just pissed him off, annoyed him, is really all you would have done. And look, say what you want about his bullpen handlings. A few questions there, but otherwise, I mean, he's absolutely maximized the talent on this roster. I mean, how many more games would you have expected any other manager to get? How much more juice would have been squeezed with any other manager with this roster, the way it's currently constructed, along with, like you said, all the injuries and that kind of stuff? You couldn't have gotten much better than what he's done with this team.
And again,
the last few seasons.
I'm not suggesting that he is the reason behind all of it, but he and his staff absolutely are responsible for the development of Vinny Pasquantino. For him to go from what he was early in his career, I mean, folks, let's not sit here and act like 3 years ago we weren't all talking about Nick Pratto being the future of first base for this Kansas City Royals team. Okay, nobody was talking about Vinny Pasquantino 3 years ago or 4 years ago. Everything was, Nick Pratto's the future at first base for the Kansas City Royals. But Vinny Pasquantino has emerged into guy had 30 home runs and 100 RBIs last year. Never thought that was the ceiling for Vinny Pasquantino. Yet here we are. I didn't expect Maikel Garcia to turn into an all-star caliber, Silver Slugger candidate, Gold Glove winning third baseman. Yet here we are. Knew Bobby Witt Jr. had all the potential in the world, but to be an MVP candidate in year 3 of his career, to do things that no shortstop outside of Alex Rodriguez in the history of baseball has done prior to turning 25 years old, to see them bring in Michael Wacha and Seth Lugo, who many thought were at the tail end of their careers, and to transform, to allow Michael Wacha to continue his prime over the last couple of years, even into his mid-30s, to watch him help transform Seth Lugo into a Cy Young candidate in his 30s. Bringing in Cole Reagans from the Rangers, who had a ton of talent, but there were injury concerns and control issues, and to see him transform into a Cy Young candidate. He deserves a lot of credit, not only for what he did in those situations, but for the people that he surrounded himself with in that organization, pitching coaches, hitting coaches, base coaches, bench coaches, what have you, that have allowed for those guys to continue to ascend, to allow Chris Bubich to turn into an all-star this season. he absolutely deserves a ton of credit, and that extension is 100% a reflection of that.
Yeah, people seem to forget we're not that far out from the Royals spending 50 draft picks on 50 different pitchers and not developing a single one. Like his ability to construct this coaching staff and, like you said, revamp the careers of some of these pitchers and then develop some of these pitchers. I mean, again, like it's just good business that you don't allow your major league manager to go into his last season without extending his contract unless you fully plan on not re-signing him.
Yeah.
It's just how baseball works.
And I mean, so far in his career,
works.
as a manager, he's 38 games below 500 as a manager. A lot of that is because he went 56 and 106 in year one.
Yes.
To go from 56 wins in year one to 86 wins the next year and then regress only 4 games to 82. You're suggesting we talk about firing a guy who has had back-to-back winning seasons for an organization that hasn't done so in a decade with a lineup that when he arrived and even after year one, people thought this team's just not good enough. And it's not like he's just standing pat and trying to roll with what he's got. He and J.J. Picollo have done really, really good things to help this team take the next step. And I don't believe they're done, right? The negotiations are ongoing for a Jarren Duran or a Brendan Donovan type outfield bat to try to sway things. And I give J.J. Picollo and Matt Quattrero a ton of credit because I agree with them that if the price tag for Jarren Duran is Cole Reagan's, that is unequivocally, without question, not only a no, but a hell no. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, Cole Reagan's the injury issues and this and that and the other thing. But when he's healthy, okay, the last time he was fully healthy, he was one of the 5 best pitchers in the American League. And that's saying a lot because the pitching in the American League has been really, really good over the last 3 or 4 years. He is the ace of this rotation. Without question. Having Seth Lugo as the number 2 guy in your rotation, Waka at 3, presumably, if a trade for Bubic can be found, Noah Cameron as the 4, and then you're looking at Falter or Bergert as the 5, potentially. There's another name that is escaping my mind at the moment. But one of those guys as your number 5 starter, you want Cole Reagans to be at the top of your rotation. Okay, I'm sorry. If I'm walking into an ALCS Game 1, would I rather have Jarren Duran in left field or Cole Reagans on the bump? I want Cole Reagans on the bump in that scenario. Okay. That's just the way it is. 913-586-7965 is our number. More coming up, some college football playoff to get to as well. A couple of big-time matchups in college basketball yesterday. K-State and Mizzou, both in action that we'll discuss. And there's this weird transfer portal saga happening with a quarterback from the University of Washington who signed a contract, backed out of his NIL deal. His agents dropped him, and now he's going back to Washington. I want to break down all of it because it's weird, and I have a feeling it's not the last time we're going to hear about a story like this. That's next here on After Hours. Logan Weber, Julio Sanchez, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Small update on the story, allegations surrounding Rashee Rice. The National Football League has now released a statement. Said that, quote, "We have been in contact with the club about the matter, which will be reviewed under the league's personal conduct policy." So it sounds like an investigation is going to take place. Of course, no charges have been filed, nothing like that. So, not going to speculate further on that, just relaying what the Chiefs said yesterday about it, the allegations themselves, and now the National Football League today releasing a statement that they will be reviewing the information via their personal conduct policy. Just
I'll speculate a little bit here.
Not a great sign
for a league that for a league that's known to let the legal process play out and slow play a lot of this stuff. He's pretty much screwed at this point. For them to already have jumped in and doing their own investigation now, it's not a good look.
Yeah, man, it doesn't
not
sound
a good look.
It doesn't sound great.
Yeah,
I will tell you
There's
that
nothing
much.
good that's going to come of this.
No, it will not. After hours, 96.5 The Fan, Logan Weber alongside Julio Sanchez. Somebody in the text line just said, "It's absolutely disgusting just thinking about Lane Kiffin sitting on the couch making huge money for every Ole Miss win." Yeah, if it makes you feel any better, any butter? What? Hold on. I'm just going to need to
Someone's hungry.
Control-Alt-Delete reboot for just a second.
Look, Lane Kiffin's a little slippery,
I just had popcorn.
Hey-o.
Yeah, the little longest yard thing. He is pretty slippery. If it makes you feel any better, dear God, at least Ole Miss isn't the one paying him, right? LSU is paying him a bonus for how Ole Miss performs in the college football playoff. So at least it's not Ole Miss that's paying him, right? They're not having to shell out dough for this sort of thing.
What a terrible human being.
He's kind of scummy.
He's a scumbag through
and it
through.
sucks, dude, because I was actually starting to like Lane Kiffin a little bit
and
more.
then it goes and just Lane Kiffin's it.
After all the crap with USC and the Raiders and Tennessee and, all this stuff that he'd gone through, and it's like he's at Ole Miss, they're starting to see this really, successful year. I didn't think he was going to take the LSU job. I didn't. I thought it would be foolish of him to take the LSU job.
Why? Why would you give him benefit after all of that?
Because of how
can't
good
change his stripes.
Because of how good this Ole Miss team has been. I just
silly you.
I really thought like he's got a great thing going. This team is capable of winning a national championship. Why would you leave a national championship caliber team to go to LSU? Other than the fact that LSU has won national championships, right? That's not just a hypothetical like it is at Ole Miss because they've never done it. LSU's won natties. I get that. But I really didn't think he'd pull the trigger on it. And then lo and behold, he does. And
money talks.
Yeah.
Money talks.
There's a little Wayne quote that just popped into my head, but it's not FCC approved, so I'm not going to say it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Right now it's a 10-10 game. Miami and Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss just kicked a field goal to tie it up. Offense, outside of a 48-yard run by Miami and a 75-yard run, or 73-yard run, I should say, by Ole Miss, they're not moving the football with great efficiency right now. I mean, Miami's got 150 yards of total offense so far in the first half. Meanwhile, Ole Miss has barely 100. That shouldn't be super surprising considering how good Miami's defense has been in this college football playoff so far this year. But this is going to come down to the wire, and I'm kind of excited for it because, one of these two teams, both of these teams really, are in positions that nobody expected them to be in. And one of these two teams is going to be vying for a college football playoff national championship game against quite possibly Indiana. Because nothing makes sense anymore. Because we live in a world in 2025 where one of the worst teams in the history of college football, historically, may just walk away with a national championship. And I'm not sure how to feel about that in my heart. I really don't. 913-586-7965 is our number. We'll talk Chiefs. We'll talk Wild Card Weekend coming up as well. But next, let's talk about this transfer portal story. Desmond Williams Jr., look him up. He was a quarterback at Washington, signed a contract to stay with the team, then entered the transfer portal, and then all hell broke loose. It's a wild story that we seemingly have a culmination of. It's finally been put to bed. How? I have absolutely no idea. We'll talk about that next. Logan Weber alongside Julio Sanchez. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game, like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code Radio250BM and get your first bet matched as a bonus bet up to $250, whether you win or lose. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Missouri. Open to new users only. Minimum odds, -500. Awarded as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Bonus bet amount not returned for winning bets. Void where prohibited. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Buys KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
Don't let winter catch you off guard. Keep your family cozy with a $69 heating system tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. We have pros available 7 days a week to keep your system running at peak efficiency, helping prevent costly breakdowns, lower energy bills, and keep your home warm all winter long. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan, KFMZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
College football playoff semifinal taking place right now. Tomorrow, right? This is the next other game.
Correct.
Other games tomorrow.
Yep.
Wild card weekend. Games Friday, games Saturday, games Sunday. Absolutely fantastic time of year. Sad that it doesn't involve anybody locally, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, hard to hang your head on the thought of like, oh, K-State or Mizzou or Kansas being in the college football playoff, especially the college football playoff semifinal by any means, but no Chiefs involved in wild card weekend, and not because they got the 1 seed in the AFC and got a first round bye.
Feeling a little naked right now.
Yeah.
By the way,
like there's nothing to do.
Miami with a 52-yard bomb to pull ahead, 17-10.
Carson Beck letting her fly a little bit.
Man, a little offensive showing. I thought this was for sure going to be a little defensive battle, but
Keelan Marion
already. I like it.
52-yard touchdown grab.
Yeah.
So 17-10, Hurricanes lead it. Somebody in the text line just asked this, and again, not trying to talk about the allegations themselves or anything like that. They are horrible, and obviously the legal and process has to play out. The investigation has to play out with the Chiefs and the NFL and what have you. But somebody in the text line was asking how it would work with the Rashee Rice situation if these allegations could affect the probation that he's currently under, right? Yeah. Part of his guilty plea was the 30 days in jail, 5 years of probation. As of now, considering these are just allegations, nothing, right? However, if they become criminal charges and he is found guilty of those criminal charges, that probation plays a major factor in his situation. Part of the terms of his probation from the felony case in Texas included mandates to, number one, quote, avoid injurious and vicious habits. This is a domestic abuse story that we are discussing and allegations. that if found to be true and lead to a conviction in a court of law, certainly violate that mandate of avoiding injurious or vicious habits. There's also terms of the contract as to a mandate to, quote, support your dependents. Part of the allegations also include him not supporting, his children, physically, monetarily, those sorts of things. If those allegations come to light and they are deemed to be true, they would also violate the terms of his probation. So this is a very, very bad story all the way around. He said, thanks, I figured he would go straight to jail if he violates his probation. That I do not know. I have absolutely no idea, okay? I do not have a law degree. I cannot speak on that. I just speak on what the language of his probation says for the injurious and vicious habits and support your dependents. Those are terms of mandates within the language of his probation. If he violates those, what happens could be jail. I have absolutely no idea. That is pure speculation at that point, and I would care to avoid that.
Not good. Either way you slice it. Any way you slice it.
Not at all. But let's get back to the college football playoff at hand here just for a minute. 2-minute warning, 2-minute timeout. Sorry, college football. Don't send people to the gates for that one. I don't know why they get so upset. You ever notice that? College football and the NFL got to figure some things out, okay? Because neither one of them wants to give credit to the other for a good idea. Like the NFL has the 2-minute warning, and rather than college football being like, the 2-minute warning is a good idea, we're going to implement that. They said, we think it's a good idea, but we don't want to give the NFL credit for it, so we're going to call it the 2-minute timeout, and that's what you should call it too. And we take offense if you don't. Shut up.
To be fair, the NFL just kind of, I wouldn't want to give them credit either if I was another sports league of any kind, because they just run roughshod over and do whatever they want to any other sports league regardless.
That's a fair point.
I mean, look at this weekend, for instance.
Yeah. Oh, you got college football playoff stuff to do? How about wild card weekend? How about we just take over the entire weekend? How about that? How'd that make you feel? Yeah. And then, on the NFL side, vice versa. I just want to point out that the NFL, rather than trying to change its damn overtime rules every 4 or 5 years, just take the college football overtime. Just implement that, please. It's so much better. Here's the football. Here's the football. You're at the 20-yard line. Touchdown, field goal. We'll figure it out. It's so much more entertaining, okay? Nobody wants to watch a tie. Please stop it. Just implement the college football overtime rules, please.
I mean, look, if it makes them feel any better, maybe start at the 35 or 40.
There you go.
Why not?
Not a bad idea. But yeah, put it at the 30. With today's day and age, the NFL kickers in the NFL, Cam Little hit like a 67-yarder on Sunday or something for Jacksonville? Okay, fine. Go ahead and put it a little bit further back if you want to. But all in all, it's a better rule. So can we please do away with the NFL's currently constructed overtime rules for no other reason than I'm tired of hearing Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills beep and moan about it. How about that? How about we just change a rule rather than waiting for the Bills to screw it up and then change the rule? Let's do that one instead. Somebody in the text line, I got an 816 here. This is Raj in the Ozarks. He is a mostly retired law enforcement officer. It was announced that the NFL is investigating this. This is not good for Mr. Rice at all. If he violates, he will have a court date. This is somebody else in the text line. If he violates, he will have a court date and a judge will decide, or his probation officer will put extra monitoring, whether it's his location or treatment classes, phone monitoring potentially. Okay.
No one knows to this point, basically.
Nope. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm studying for the bar. I'm just trying to figure out a bunch of I feel like I'm back in my comm law class in college, and I didn't like it the first time around. I really have no idea. Just reporting on what I've got in front of me right now. Speculating beyond that, I would really rather like to avoid. All right. Let's talk about this story, because you and I were actually talking about it off air. It's super weird, okay? If you're not familiar, just Google yourselves Demond Williams Jr. Okay, he is a quarterback at the University of Washington. Last year for the Huskies, as a sophomore, all right, he was the starter and had a phenomenal year. I might add. He completed 69.5% of his passes. He threw for 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Really, really good year. On top of that, he also ran for 600 yards and had 6 rushing touchdowns. 3,700 yards of total offense, nearly 31 total touchdowns. So, had a fantastic year, right? Because of that, the University of Washington athletic department decides that they are going to enter into contract negotiation with him. Damon Williams ends up signing a deal with the school in the mid $4 million range for next year. $4 million plus to be the starting quarterback at Washington next year, where he had already spent the first 2 years of his college career, right? Committed to them out of high school. Just days after that, he announced that he would be transferring. That transfer notification then caused the University of Washington to start exploring legal options to, number one, enforce the language of Williams' contract. Number two, allow them to get out of the contract. Or number three, force him to have to pay back some of the monetary value of the contract. Of course, the fun part of all this. Hey, Julio, any guesses as to where Williams may have been looking to transfer to?
It wouldn't have anything to do with some sleazeball that we may or may not have just recently mentioned?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Okay.
The prevailing
Shocked.
thought is that he was expected to transfer to LSU, according to sources from ESPN. But any transfer would have taken significant legal wrangling. Washington and the Big Ten were prepared for a legal fight.
Good.
Then, earlier today, the representatives, the agents for Damon Williams Jr., came out publicly and said, we no longer represent this individual. Said, we're done. We're done. Okay? Figure it out for yourself, bud, because we just negotiated a mid $4 million deal for you to go back to school for 1 year. And you're like, yeah, but I might want to transfer to LSU. Like, bro, the ink's not even dry on the contract you just signed. And you're like, nah, but I think I want to transfer. I think I'm going to go play for Lane Kiffin at LSU. So that happens.
How scummy.
And then an hour ago, he comes out, Williams comes out with a statement. Quote, I am fully committed and focused on contributing to what we are building. After thoughtful reflection with my family, I am excited to announce that I will continue my football journey at the University of Washington.
Yeah, that decision wasn't because of all the pressure and backlash that he got from trying to renege on his signed contract.
Yeah, it also
a couple days ago.
Again, and I don't necessarily agree with some of the pushback and sentiment from people about this, but the timing of his announcement that, contract signed, but I'm going to try to transfer, the timing of it, the announcement coincided with a celebration of life that was taking place at the University of Washington for a women's soccer player who had passed away, to which he further apologized in his statement for, saying, quote, I never intended to call attention away from such an important moment. I don't think that those two things don't correlate. And the fact that you're trying to lump them together just seems a bit heinous on the part of some of these people. But he's going to have an uphill battle. I really believe that.
I mean, I got a couple thoughts on this whole ridiculous situation. One, like if you're Washington, like I understand he needs to be held accountable, but why would you want him back now at this point anyways? Not to mention, like what are his teammates going to think of him and basically turning his back on them and going for more money and like putting them in just such a terrible situation at this point. I wouldn't want him to be my teammate, be my quarterback, and lead my team. I understand they kind of need his talent, but I mean, you can't walk it back at this point now. I guess you can, but it's just going to be a very uncomfortable season.
Yeah.
My second thought is I'm all for players getting paid 100%, but they also have to be held accountable to, I mean, you literally just signed this contract a few days ago, and now you let some slippery jerk face get into your DMs, slide into your DMs and be like, oh, yep, no, why don't you come this way? We'll pay you a couple more $1 million if you come on this side of the fence. Like, you made a commitment at this point. You signed the contract. You can't just up and leave. Like, that's not cool.
I'm 100% in agreement with you. Okay. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I am a huge, huge proponent of the transfer portal and NIL. Okay. Folks, let's not all lie to ourselves. We live in a capitalist society. This is what everybody else does all the time. Okay. If you're working at a company and that company is offering you $90,000 and another company comes to you and says, hey, we want you to do the same thing here, but we're willing to give you $115,000. Okay, you would take that job. You would leave where you're currently at to go pursue better opportunities elsewhere. Whether that be better money, better benefits, what have you, you would do that. It's no different for these kids, 18 to 22 years old. Oh, they're getting a college education. Yeah, they're also bringing in millions of dollars in revenue for their respective schools. The NCAA was a lying, cheating, manipulative organization for decades and decades and decades, and now they're having to reap what they sow. And maybe the biggest downfall of the NCAA was that they put all their eggs, and this is a subject that I am very, very passionate about, okay? So I may get a little soapboxy here, just a warning. The NCAA, rather than trying to put any sort of plan in place in the event of the student-athlete moniker falling, they put all their eggs in the basket of trying to keep it alive, which anybody with a brain would tell you was not going to hold up under antitrust laws in the United States government. As soon as it got to the federal circuit or inevitably the Supreme Court, everybody that knows anything about the law and antitrust violations knew that this was not going to stand. But the NCAA insisted on fighting to try to prevent athletes from getting paid in order to continue to shove millions and millions and millions of dollars into their own pockets. And it fell apart on them. So now they're left holding the bag, no guardrails in place, no plan of any kind, and we've been sitting through the Wild West of the transfer portal for the last 5 or 6 years now. And that is entirely the fault of the NCAA and entirely the fault of these conferences who did nothing to prepare for it. This is not the last time that something like this is going to happen, right? I think that this thing reached the best conclusion that it possibly could have because there was a contractual obligation in place. That is the best way, in my opinion, to prevent this from being a long-standing, continuative problem in college football. You have to make these players contractually obligated to something. If you've signed a contract, you have to abide by the rules and the language of that contract. If that contract is for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, what have you, that's where we are now. Okay, it's no longer about national letters of intent. It's this. Hey, you're going to sign a deal worth, just for an example, 2 years for $3.5 million. Okay, sounds good. If you want to transfer after 1 year, you only get $1.5 million of that 3.5 or whatever, right? That's the language that's got to be included in this. And I imagine there was something to that extent in this situation, and that's why he inevitably ends back up at Washington. Yeah, it's going to be a headache for everybody. For Damon Williams Jr., for Jed Fish, for the guys in that locker room. That is a lot of water that went under that bridge that you're going to have to stomach. You're going to have to save face a little bit if you're Damon Williams Jr., with your head coach, with the guys on your football team, because this has not looked good for you over the past few days. Will they get past it? I don't know. But from Washington's standpoint, you obviously want to get past it because he is a tremendously talented football player. There's a reason why they gave him a deal reportedly in the mid $4 million range because he is that good. There's a reason why Lane Kiffin was recruiting him to go play quarterback at LSU because he is one of the better quarterbacks in college football. 31 total touchdowns and 3,700 total yards as a sophomore in a league like the Big Ten. It says something. And so this is going to be a lot of hurdles for everybody to have to jump over or jump through in order to let bygones be bygones here. 913-586-7965 is our number. How about some college basketball? K-State had a big one against Arizona last night. Mizzou with a road matchup against Kentucky. Let's break down what we saw yesterday and what it could mean moving forward for both clubs here on After Hours. Logan Weber, Julio Sanchez, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Huddle up with BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this college football season unforgettable. Shoot your shot with same-game parlays, live betting, or bet on new markets thanks to BetMGM Originals. You'll be on the edge of your seat from the very first snap, no matter what type of fan you are. Earn BetMGM reward points on every bet. Take advantage of college football offers found nowhere else. And keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. When it comes to college football, never settle for the ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have 20 years of experience and service the KC metro area. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, also in commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4TOW, or go to southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600, or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
And Doug.
Oh, what a horrible call. Hey, ref, open your eyes! Ref, you're really not gonna call that? Come on!
Hey, ref, why don't you customize your car insurance with Liberty Mutual and save money? don't think you get what we're doing.
Sure I do. We're all just giving him advice. You guys on sports, me on saving money.
Nope, that's not it.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Did you know that you can watch all your favorite shows right on YouTube? We're live streaming Fesco and Dusty, Cody and Gold, The Drive, and After Hours all day long. So if you want to look at the beautiful Alex Gold, interact with Cody Tapp in the chat, or gaze at the ruggedly handsome Dusty Likens, just go to YouTube and watch them while you pretend to work. Go to our channel, hit subscribe, and stay up to date with 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Bit of a good day, bad day scenario for Mizzou and K-State yesterday. K-State had to go on the road and play the number one team in the country, and it went about how you'd expect it to go. Wildcats got blown out 101-76. Braden Burries and Medias Kravas, I'm not sure how you say that name. I did my best. Those two guys combined for 43 points in the game. Arizona shot just 49% from the field, but you look at their top three scorers. Koa Pete, 6 of 11. Kravas finished 7 of 10. And Burries, I'm not sure, went 12 of 16. So those three guys combined to shoot about 65-70% from the floor, and scored a combined 68 points, which was 8 less than K-State scored as a team. It was not a great day. Wildcats shot 34% from the floor,
Ouch.
22% from the three-point line, 8 of 36. PJ Haggerty finished with 19 points on 20 shots. Nate Johnson, 15 points on 13 shots. And Doran Buka was the only other guy in double figures with 12.
It's a bang-up job of pronunciation on the
I'm doing my best here,
I
man.
gotcha. I know.
Abdi Bashir Jr. was 2 of 8 from the floor. He had 6 points. It was a poor shooting night across the board for the Wildcats. They're now 9-6 on the year. They're still winless in the Big 12. Hard to fault them when the first 2 games of your Big 12 slate are BYU at home and then on the road against the number 1 team in America.
Big 12's tough this year, man.
It's a gauntlet of a league, right? They've got Arizona State on the road on Saturday, and then they'll be back at home January 14th for a matchup against UCF, who is currently the 25th ranked team in the country and already has a win against Kansas so far this year. Maybe that's one thing you didn't necessarily anticipate was KU falling on the road to UCF and then having to score 104 points in overtime to beat TCU.
It's a hell of a game.
Man, it was a back and at one point in the second half, I turned it off. I was like, KU's done.
I'm so glad you said that, and this is what's disappointing about that. I watched until 30 seconds left and turned it off because I was so heartbroken. Woke up the next morning and wanted to punch myself in the face.
Yeah, I didn't wait that long.
I thought it was done.
I thought that it was over. I think it was like 64-51 at one. It
was not looking good.
Right around like the under 12 timeout, TCU was leading by double figures, and I'm like, man, this one's over. Jayhawks team is not playing very well. Darren Peterson needs help, and then all of a sudden, nope.
Hey, what'd you think about? Did you see when Darren Peterson towards the end of the game subbed himself out in the last? I think it was like 2 minutes left or something like that, where he turned over the ball because he was trying to sub himself out. Did you see that?
I did not. No,
Ooh, not a good look.
That's a bad look.
That's a bad
Aaron.
look.
I mean, all in all, the guy still finished with 32 points.
I mean, yeah,
you know.
what can you do?
He had a great day. 6 rebounds in this one. Flory Badunga really came on late. 16 points, 6 of 7 from the floor. Trey White got back on track with his shooting. Unfortunately, Melvin Council did about the exact opposite. He was 5 of 15 from the floor. He finished with 18 points, and a lot of that buoyed. And really, this game was buoyed in great part because KU was very aggressive at getting to the free throw line.
I was going to say, Melvin Council, while his shooting percentage doesn't look great, that second half, he controlled the game. And he is one of the main reasons why they were able to make that comeback. So I'll give him credit.
No question. No question. I mean, 40 free throw attempts. Jayhawks were 30 of 40. Meanwhile, TCU was 15 of 24.
They choked so bad. I don't think KU won that game. TCU just choked that game away.
Didn't go. I mean, TCU out-rebounded Kansas, which I had said coming in was going to be a huge factor, that KU's got to be better on the glass than they were in the UCF game, and they were not. And I think that was a huge part of why that game ended up being as close Tuesday night as it ended up being. Meanwhile, here on the other side of the state line, in Missouri, the Missouri Tigers yesterday went on the road to Rupp Arena in Lexington and beat Kentucky 73-68. Two big takeaways. Number one, Mizzou shot the ball really well from the field. Like, not necessarily from the three-point line, 6 of 17, but they shot 52% from the field. Really, really good job. Jaden Stone, in particular, had a really good day. Mark Mitchell, despite being only 7 of 15 shooting, finished with 21 points, 6 of 7 at the stripe. Anthony Robinson, 10 assists last night. I mean, a guy played 36 minutes of this game and shot the ball 9 times, but he really wasn't looking for his shot, especially because he wasn't shooting the ball particularly well. He missed all 3 of his 3-point attempts yesterday. Started looking for guys to get involved and did a fantastic job of it. I mean, the fact that Mizzou won this game despite Jacob Cruz only scoring 3 points and you finished with just 12 bench points is kind of astonishing for the Missouri Tigers. Did a great job defensively. Kentucky finished 43% from the field in this game, and Mizzou hung right there in the rebounding battle. It was sort of an ugly game, and maybe that was what Mizzou wanted out of that one, as they're now 12-3 on the year. They're 2-0 in the SEC. They've got 2 solid wins after maybe some lackluster performance during the non-conference slate. A win that looks so much better now than it did at the time against Minnesota, especially by 23. But you lost to Notre Dame, you lost to Kansas, you lost to Illinois. Those were the only other big games on your non-conference schedule. But you've come back here in the SEC slate, you beat a Florida team that was ranked in the top 25, and you beat Kentucky on the road. Unfortunately for Mizzou, this isn't John Calipari's Kentucky, right? I mean, it's not.
It still counts. Don't you discredit them.
I'm not trying to discredit them.
Don't you discredit them.
I'm just saying.
And this is coming from a Jayhawks fan.
Winning in Lexington is tough. I don't care who the coach is.
Big deal.
100% it is. I was just saying that this is not like a top 5 ranked Kentucky team that was head coached by John Calipari. Is it Mark Pope? Is that I know his last name is Pope. But I think it's Mark Pope. Yeah, it is Mark Pope. I know just enough sometimes, I tell you. Mark Pope at Kentucky, not necessarily the same thing. But it's a huge win for them. Their next game is going to be on Saturday as well, on the road against Ole Miss. Tigers have an opportunity to quickly get out to 3-0 in SEC play. We shall see. 913-586-7965 is our number. How about some NFL conversation? A couple more firings, including one that may interest Chiefs fans around the globe. And how about Wild Card Weekend? Let's get into it a little bit more next. Here on After Hours, Logan Weber alongside my producer tonight, Julio Sanchez. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more.
And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
No.
Coffee?
No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes. See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely. Face tattoo?
Absolutely not. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Football season is in full swing, and however you like to get on the action, you can do it on Underdog. Right now in Missouri. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $75 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Plus, with Underdog's fast payouts, you can get your profits in a snap. So download the app today and use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to score $75 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing-terms_DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Well, for Chiefs fans that are on the hire Mike McDaniel to be your next OC train, I have a feeling some spots are about to get filled if there's any empty seats remaining. The Miami Dolphins officially announced today that they have fired their head coach in Mike McDaniel. McDaniel had met with reporters on Monday saying he would be a part of the team's interviews to hire a new general manager. It appears not. Sounds like the decision came down on Tuesday from Dolphins owner Stephen Ross, who said he met with McDaniel and decided that it was time for both parties to move on. I really thought that Mike McDaniel may have done enough to have saved his job late in the year. You know, I mean, this is a Miami Dolphins team that lost their first 3 games. They were 1-6 at one point in the year, 2-7 at one point in the year, then rattled off 4 straight wins to get to 6-7. Unfortunately, then they faltered again and lost 3 of their last 4 games this year. But for a team that started out 1-6 to finish the year 7-10, you had quarterback problems with Tua, and you benched him, and you went with Quinn Ewers. It just was a lot going on there. And I'll be the first to say, I like Mike McDaniel. I think he would be a great head coach with the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know if schematically he fits with what Andy Reid wants to do. But I'll also say, I'd like to see Mike McDaniel have an outstanding quarterback. Okay, in my view, Tua Tagovailoa is a huge part of why this team went 7-10 and not Mike McDaniel. I'll start out by saying that he did not have a great quarterback in Miami.
Yeah, that's correct. And I don't think he fits what the Chiefs are looking for. Andy's not going to give up play calling, and there's no reason why Mike McDaniel would come here and not want to call plays. That said, can I throw some rumors out there, and they kind of there's some backing behind it to points maybe to some truth there that supposedly the Ross family is very close with the Harbaugh family, and so they were planning to keep him. But once Harbaugh became available, kind of backtracked on that and kind of changes. I mean, it makes sense. Look, they had
the timing of it makes sense.
Makes sense, and they had all season to make up their mind on what they wanted to do with McDaniels, and then all of a sudden, if they were going to originally do it, they would have done it on Black Monday or whatever it is. They would have done it then. For them to wait an extra few days until after Harbaugh has been fired makes a lot of sense to me.
100%. Now that you say that, because McDaniel meets with the media on Monday. Right? If you're going to fire him, are you really going to allow that to happen? Yeah. So he meets with the media on Monday. He says he's going to be a part of the conversations for general manager. You have a meeting with McDaniel on Tuesday to discuss the offseason, his future, the team's future, yada, yada, yada. Tuesday, you make the decision that you're going to part ways with him. Oh, what else happened on Tuesday? Oh, that's right. The news broke that the Ravens were firing John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just throwing it out there, just lobbing it out there for you.
I see where you're coming from. And honestly, I lean towards that being the truth.
Yeah, so do I.
I definitely do. John Harbaugh, next head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Hey, we'll see, man.
Not the division I'd want to probably join, but
fair point. Not with the Patriots playing the way they're playing.
Yeah.
Lest we forget Josh Allen still exists there in Buffalo. So, yeah, I don't know what to make of that. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in the midst of a staff overhaul, and they have fired Josh Grizzard, their offensive coordinator. They also fired their special teams coordinator, their quarterbacks coach, their defensive line coach, and their cornerbacks coach.
Cleaning house.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly what they're doing. Wow, that's a name I haven't read in a while. Would you like to know who the defensive line coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was?
Please.
Charlie Strong.
Oh, all right.
So the former head coach at Texas about a decade ago. Yeah. Head coach at Louisville and then Texas, and then he was the head coach at South Florida. And then he was a defensive analyst at Alabama, assistant head coach and inside linebackers coach for the Jags, co-defensive coordinator and linebackers coach at Miami. Then he was a defensive analyst again at Alabama. And most recently was the defensive line coach for Tampa Bay. This guy was the head coach of a major Division I college football program a decade ago and just got fired as a defensive line coach in the NFL.
Talk about a fall from grace, huh?
Woof. I also believe that one of their offensive consultants, Tom Moore, retired after 62 years of coaching. Tom Moore is 87 years old. Their safeties coach, also Nick Rapone, retired at 67 years old. Shout out to Tom Moore, by the way. That's an Iowa Hawkeye right there. Just wanted to very graciously point that out for no reason whatsoever. But yet, the Buccaneers are still just going to roll with Todd Bowles, huh? I'm sorry. The second that he had that profanity-laced press conference after they lost a game earlier, that should have been the day that they moved on. That should have been, you don't sit there in a press conference and rake your offense over the coals in this profanity-laced rant when your defense gave up 40 and keep a job.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm not a Todd Bowles fan, so they should have never hired him to begin with. But
he's a phenomenal defensive coordinator, in my opinion.
He's a good coordinator.
Just
correct.
Not sure he is a head coach.
Yeah.
Right? 913-586-7965 is our number. Somebody in the text line just said, Logan, would you rather see an Iowa Natty or a Mizzou Final Four appearance? I don't need to think about that. An Iowa Natty? I'm not a Mizzou fan. Never been a Mizzou fan.
For you.
Ew. I'm sorry. If the question was like an Iowa Natty or Mizzou never wins anything again, I still would just lean towards an Iowa Natty. I don't have hatred in my heart for the University of Missouri. I just don't like the University of Missouri. It's weird for me. I grew up here in Missouri, right? Most people, because I'm an Iowa fan, assume that I was born in Iowa. I wasn't. My dad was. That's why I'm an Iowa fan. Growing up here, I was the odd man out everywhere, okay? Everybody I went to school with were Mizzou fans. Everybody. The only Kansas fan I knew was my brother. Everybody was a Mizzou fan that I grew up with. And so, like, I never, like, rooted against Mizzou, but I never rooted for them at all.
Brother sounds like a smart guy.
My brother is one of those people, Julio. My brother has chronic middle sibling syndrome, where he just has to do the exact opposite of whatever everybody else does in order to draw attention to himself. Okay? My younger brother, he is a Royals fan. I will give him a ton of credit for that. Okay? He is a Royals fan. In fact, I'm the one who's changed my baseball allegiance over the years. Because growing up, I was a huge Red Sox fan. And no, it was not because they were winning a World Series. I became a Red Sox fan because Dustin Pedroia was my favorite player. Okay? He was a short, unassuming guy playing second base and dominating Major League Baseball. And I was a short, unassuming, left-handed, I might add, second baseman growing up, and he was my favorite player. He was the shortest guy on the team. I was always the shortest guy on the team. And he was, at one point, he was the American League MVP. He was the best player in baseball for a very short period of time until injuries derailed him. So because of that, I was a Red Sox fan. Of course, when Pedroia retired, I became a Royals fan. The World Series runs in 14 and 15 when I was in high school didn't hurt. But outside of that, my brother's favorite college is Kansas, right? My dad and I are Iowa fans. My sister's pretty indifferent to sports, and my mom roots for whoever, but she grew up a Mizzou fan, okay? So he's got no reason to be a Kansas fan other than he just wanted to be different than everybody else. My entire family are Chiefs fans. Everybody. My mom, me, my sister, my grandmother, everybody, okay? My brother is a Bills fan. I told this story on Tuesday, though, and it makes sense. I had a guy I played high school football against. His name was Kellen Overstreet, who played football at Wyoming with Josh Allen. And one day we were hanging out, and he was talking about Josh and his time at Wyoming, and my brother's like, you don't know Josh Allen. It's like, yeah, I do. I know Josh Allen. He's like, no, you don't. You don't know Josh Allen. So he FaceTimed Josh Allen. My brother talked to Josh Allen over FaceTime. And this was like, I believe he was in his second year in Buffalo at that point. This would have been like 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. So he became a Bills fan because of a 3-minute FaceTime conversation he had one time with Josh Allen.
Look, if I had that kind of pull, I might think about converting to a Bills fan as well. You know, you had that kind of...
I couldn't do it, man.
Yeah, I know.
Couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it either.
Couldn't do it. So, I mean, he's a Bills fan. He's a Kansas fan.
By the way, I'm 45 minutes from Buffalo. Raised. Born.
Oh, really?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense, you know. In terms of your geographical upbringing as well as...
My entire family's Bills fans.
A FaceTime with Josh Allen would certainly probably sway, but not this guy. Okay. I'm Chiefs fan. Do or die for the rest of the time. This is who I am. 913-586-7965 is our number. How many coaches have the Chiefs confirmed they're leaving now? 4. The ones that are confirmed leaving, I know of 3. Connor Embry, who their wide receivers coach who they fired. A offensive something or other who's taking a job at UNLV, and the assistant defensive line coach, Alex Whittingham, who is going to Michigan to coach the linebackers under his dad, Kyle Whittingham. Those are the only 3 that are absolutely confirmed as to having parted ways with. Of course, Matt Nagy's contract has expired and what happens there, and the running backs coach and all these things. That's what we know of now, but it's certainly not set in stone that those are the only ones that we are going to see. 913-586-7965 is our number. Coming back, we'll wrap up our show, maybe get into some Wild Card Weekend discussion here on After Hours. Logan Weber, Julio Sanchez, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
When winter's chill hits, trust Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. For a limited time, get up to $2,000 in instant savings on a new HVAC system from Hamilton. Our pros offer expert installation, flexible financing, and energy-efficient options that can help lower your energy bills. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. But don't wait. This is a limited time offer. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new MiraFast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Coming up on Wild Card Weekend in the NFL. 2 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, culminating with Texans Steelers on Monday Night Football. Talked a little bit about this on Tuesday. Break it down again here on this Thursday night edition of After Hours. Logan Weber alongside Julio Sanchez. Give us your predictions. 913-586-7965. Looking at Saturday's games, Rams, Panthers. I got on my soapbox about this on Tuesday. I think winning your division should get you into the playoffs, but the fact that it gives you a top 4 seed in a home playoff game is asinine, in my opinion. The 8-9 Carolina Panthers having the opportunity to host the 12-5 Los Angeles Rams boggles the mind, Julio. It makes no sense. Why are we giving credit to a team in a god-awful division that won it simply because they were the least awful in a division of downright awful football teams?
You're not wrong.
And we have a team with a losing record hosting a playoff game. It's broken and it needs fixing. And for those people that are like, well, if you don't like it, that team should just win their division. You don't think the Rams would have won the NFC South had they been in it? No, of course they wouldn't have. They only won 12 games playing the Rams and the 49ers and the Seahawks 4 times. The Panthers went 8-9. They were 5-3 at home, and they won their division. Come on. I hope the Rams dismantle them. In fact, I would take the Rams at minus 10.5 as it sits right now for this football game. I think Matthew Stafford's the MVP. If you want to go with Drake May, that's your own prerogative. I personally believe it to be Matthew Stafford. 4,700 yards, 46 touchdowns to only 8 picks, and 3 of those came in the Week 18 game. That's ludicrous. Rams win that game going away on Saturday. And if I'm wrong, then I'll apologize to the entire state of North Carolina. But I don't think I will be.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
The Saturday night game's going to be on Amazon Prime. I don't know if that's because there's no Thursday night football game, so that's like a part of the negotiation is that they get like one wild card game on Saturday.
Game, huh?
Yeah, they're getting a playoff game. Packers-Bears. This game fascinates me.
I agree.
Like, the Bears have looked like the better football team over the last month. They have a better record. They beat the Packers the last time these two teams played. They're the home team, and yet Green Bay is still a 1.5 point favorite.
And Jordan Love has been injured, coming off injury. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. They must know something we don't.
Sounds like Roma Dunze is going to be back, and maybe it's just because there's so much money being put on the Bears right now or on the Packers right now. I don't have any idea. I don't claim to know how Vegas operates, but I really love the Bears to win this game. Not just cover at 1.5, but to win this game completely outright. Getting Roma Dunze back, I think, will be a huge boon for this Bears team. Neither one of these squads has a ton of playoff experience to begin with, so it doesn't sway me one way or the other. Niners-Eagles, I feel like the winner of this game may become...
I hope the Eagles lose. God, I hope the Eagles lose.
I'm with you. And I think they do, actually. I think the Niners win this football game. I think Kyle Shanahan should get the NFL Coach of the Year award.
I hope they win the Super Bowl. He deserves it.
It'd be about time. Bills, Jaguars... I lean towards Buffalo, but this would be just the most Josh Allen thing of all time. To lose to Jacksonville. You have a playoff setting with no Lamar, no Burrow, no Mahomes, and you lose to Trevor Lawrence in the wild card round. Absolutely demoralizing to that man's legacy in Buffalo. Chargers, Patriots, give me New England. And then Texans, Steelers, another situation. Why are the 10-7 Pittsburgh Steelers hosting a playoff game? I digress. Houston has maybe the best defense in the last 20 years of professional football, and that's saying something. I like Houston in that game as well. That'll do it for our program tonight. For my producer, Julio Sanchez, I'm Logan Weber. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for getting involved in the text line. We'll be back at you next week here on After Hours, here on 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew dressing up for a Halloween ball would change my life forever? Now I get to celebrate with the best fans and everything Kansas City. Oh, yeah! My journey also led me to Renner Garage Door, Casey's go-to team for garage door repair, replacement, and service since 1956. Renner features an MVP lineup from Belden, Amar, and Liftmaster.
R-E-N-N-E-R, R-E-N-N-E-R.
The Drive, weekdays starting at 2 on Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Football season is in full swing, and however you like to get on the action, you can do it on Underdog. Right now in Missouri. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $75 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Plus, with Underdog's fast payouts, you can get your profits in a snap. So download the app today and use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to score $75 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing-terms_DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Future therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Start the new year by moving, not hurting. If joint pain's holding you back, then listen up. There's a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on pause. QC Kinetics delivers regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, shoulders, your back, wherever it hurts. Instead of facing an invasive operation that sidelines you for months, these treatments happen right in the office and you go about your day. Skip the 3 to 6 months of recovery. Skip the pain. Skip the invasive surgery. Imagine this instead. You're moving stronger and better and planning the year you want. Game-changing regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics. January is supposed to be your clean slate, so make it one. Stop managing the pain and start solving it with QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
In Chicago has been postponed due to condensation on the court. Right now, the Timberwolves lead the Cavaliers 108-94. It's still early in the fourth quarter. Late in the second quarter, the Jazz lead the Mavericks 58-49, while the Pacers snap their 13-game losing streak, coming out on top against the Hornets 114-112. In the NHL, the Hurricanes outscored the Ducks 5-2. I'm Monty Bolaños.
Get ready for this! Departure frequency, roger. This is the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Look at the money that I'm making on this.
You know where this is going, Jason Smith and Mike Harmon.
You can make fun of it if you want.
You're listening to the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Lights out. That's what this is.
And here they are.
What's going on?
Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios. With Monty Bolaños sitting in for Mike Harmon, here's Jason Smith.
Hello, welcome inside. Happy Thursday. The Jason Smith Show with Monty Bolaños in for Mike Harmon.
Yeah, that's right. I'm an ass man.
Yeah. For over 40 years, Tire Rack's been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com is the way tire buying should be. Well, welcome to the show, Monty.
I am an ass man.
Remember, everything you say at some point in your life from when you were born until now,
yes,
Alex Teichert will find a way either through AI or some other way to play it back on the show.
I am an ass man.
As you can see, that's going to run all night, apparently.
Yeah, what a great world we live in.
Yeah. Hey, make sure your mom's listening.
She is. Hi, Ma.
Call your mom right now.
¿Cómo
Make sure
estás?
she's listening.
Pura vida. Oh, she 100% is. She has it on.
Oh, so today, okay, so hang on a second, really quick. So today you know Spanish.
Yes.
When I texted you yesterday in Spanish about the Clippers-Knicks game after the Knicks wiped the floor with your Clippers, you gave me back a no hablamo español.
Español,
Oh, but
yeah.
now you're speaking. Now you can speak Spanish.
You know, it's just sometimes it happens, you know. In the moment when you texted me in Spanish, I did not understand it. I thought it was another language.
What are you talking about? I went to the Spanish-English translator on Google. Gave me the exact words.
No, yeah, I know you went to
Los
translate.
Clippers, Los Knicks.
Los Knicks, yes. No, I know. And I was like, how do I respond? Do I say in English that I don't understand Spanish, or do I say in Spanish that I don't understand Spanish?
I say in Spanish that I don't understand Spanish.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. 100%.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about that game.
I gave you a Vamos Nueva York, Vamos
You
Nueva
sure
York,
did.
Vamos.
I heard it. I heard you singing it in Spanish.
It's not as lyrical as it is in English.
It's
Go
really
New
not.
York, go New York.
Go.
What do you go? The Vamos Nueva York, Vamos Nueva York. It's too much to say. It's too much.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It's
doesn't
absolutely
work.
too much.
Yeah.
So are you okay after that beatdown that you guys got yesterday? You okay?
No, I mean, I'm not okay, but
okay. All right.
I had
Too
other
soon, bro.
beatdowns, throughout the season.
Yeah, that is
so,
true. You're used to it.
Exactly. As a Clippers fan, I'm more upset that you hurt Kawhi Leonard.
We didn't
His
hurt,
ankle.
We didn't hurt Kawhi
yes,
Leonard.
Yes, you did.
No, we didn't. Okay.
No, it's your fault.
Kawhi Leonard, when he walks around every day, is in danger of getting hurt. We didn't do anything to him.
No, it was absolutely your fault at Madison Square Garden. I don't know who else to blame but you. You specifically, Jason Smith.
Me, yeah, not
You.
Spike Lee, not
No,
Tracy Morgan.
you
No.
specifically.
It's
It's
me.
all
okay.
your fault.
Yes, I put out the karma going, oh, that's it. No, Kawhi Leonard, when he wakes up in the morning, is at risk of getting hurt. So just so you know, that's how it goes.
I mean, just because it's accurate, but it's also rude.
They've signed him 12 years ago, and he's played in 8 games since they've signed him. Okay, and they still keep giving him more money.
So rude.
Oh, he's gonna give the more games he misses, the more money he gets. Let's keep giving Kawhi Leonard money. How many games? He missed more games this year than last year. Give him more money. Give him more. Give him more. While the Knicks are enjoying, resting tonight after that. They kind of broke a sweat against the Clippers. Game 1 of the college football playoff semifinal right now. Early in the third quarter still, Carson Beck has just scrambled for a first down. Miami with the lead over Ole Miss, 17-13. Both Miami and Ole Miss have missed field goals. Ole Miss had a doink that could have cut the lead to 1, and now Miami has crossed midfield. The game's starting to open up a little bit after a first quarter where I got to be honest, because I know the gambler you are, wearing your green visor into work tonight.